got another request from P1 Green, and that is to do a Harry Potter themed yoga class. I am very excited about this because I love Harry Potter. So we're going to go on a wee mini adventure that is themed around the first book of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And there's so much to squeeze in, so let's get started. Come to lie down on your mat and hug your knees into your chest, nice and small. And imagine that you are Harry Potter underneath the stairs in your cupboard, which is your bedroom. And poor Harry had this tiny, tiny little room all to himself, covered in dust and spiders. So close your eyes and try and imagine that you're there now. Luckily for Harry, one day he found out that he did not need to live in this tiny little cupboard room anymore, because he was in fact a wizard and was going to Hogwarts, School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. So from here, let's jump into the future to when Harry goes to Hogwarts. Rock up and down on your bottom until you come all the way to standing. See if you can do it without using your hands. Oh, all the way up. And our first pose is going to be Hogwarts pose. We're going to turn our bodies into a castle. Stretch your arms out, your legs out really wide. Stretch your arms up to the sky and bring your fingers to touch. Now you can either stay like this, or you can turn your arms into a spiraling turret by swapping your arms over and hooking your elbows on top of each other and pressing your hands together like this. And then reaching your hands really high up into the sky. When you do that, you get a big stretch all the way up your back and in between your shoulders. Let's swap to the other side. If you've got your arms wrapped, stretch them out and wrap them around one another the other way and reach your arms to the sky. Feel that lovely big stretch in between your shoulders. Now, when you make it to Hogwarts, you are put into a house. And this house is decided by a sorting hat. So, we're going to come into sorting hat pose and turn our bodies into a triangle. Reach your arms out to the side, clasp your hands back behind you just like this, and see if you can tip your body all the way down to the floor and lift your arms up back behind you. So your arms are now the point of the hat and your feet are at the bottom corners, just like the rim. See if you can hang your head and shake out your head so that your neck gets a really lovely stretch. Now, the sorting hat sorts you into one of 4 houses. The first house could be Ravenclaw. Come to stand all the way up on your 2 feet. And Ravenclaw's symbol is a giant raven. Now, press into your left foot and pick up your right foot and cross that over your leg. Now you can either hang your foot here, or you can wrap it around your leg twice. Oh, it's a tricky balance pose. Then stretch your arms out as if you are a bird, and if you want to challenge yourself, see if you can flap your wings. Release your right leg, shake it off, and let's do Ravenclaw's pose on the other foot. Press your right foot into the ground this time and wrap your left foot over the top of your right leg. And remember, you can hang here, or you can snuggle your left foot around the back, of your right leg. Try and find something that's not moving. Stretch your arms out wide and see if you can flap your wings just like a raven. 3, 2, 1, and release. Shake your legs off. Another house you can be put into is Hufflepuff. And Hufflepuff's animal is a badger. Come all the way down onto your knees and come into child's pose, which we've all done lots before, but if you can't remember child's pose, You take your hands down in front of you and take your forehead to the floor. Now, Hufflepuff pose is almost the complete opposite of Ravenclaw pose because our body is close to the floor and our knees are up close to our chest and our arms are overhead instead of out to the side. Hufflepuff pose is a really calm, relaxing pose. So if you need to have a calm moment and you want to stay here a bit longer, you can do exactly that. From Hufflepuff pose, we're going to come into Slytherin pose. Come onto your belly and take your hands underneath your shoulders. Let your toes point away from you so your toenails are pressing into the floor. And Slytherin is a snake, so we're going to come up and make a hissing snake noise. Press into your hands. 3, 2, 1. Maybe you can look over one shoulder and make a slithery sound to one side. And maybe the other side. And then come all the way down to the floor. Shall we do that one more time? I wonder if you can come a little higher. Can you straighten your arms fully? 3, 2, 1. Look over one shoulder and the other, and come all the way down. Put your hands underneath your head and rest your head. Now, Slytherin pose or snake pose is a back bending pose because your whole back turns into a big curve. So right now, you might feel that just above your bottom and below the back of your ribs feels very stretched out. The last house you could be put into is Gryffindor. For Gryffindor, they have a lion as their animal. Press yourself up onto your knees as if you're going to do child's pose again. But then, lift up high. Take your toes together and take your knees really wide, just like this. Take your hands down to the ground, sink your bottom down onto your feet and take a big gulp of air through your mouth and roar out through your mouth for Gryffindor or lion pose. Can you do that again? Breathe in, big gulp of air. Very scary indeed. Maybe some of your lions are so scary that they come all the way up when they do their next roar. Let's try that. 3, 2, 1. Very good. Now Harry gets put into Gryffindor, which is the house he really, really wanted to get into. He didn't want to get into Slytherin because he thinks that Slytherin is full of evil people. Now, on his adventures in his first year at Hogwarts, Harry does lots of very exciting things. The first thing that he learns to do is how to make some potions. Sit on your bottom and take your feet together. Our legs have become a cauldron, and a cauldron is what you make potions in. Take your hands together and see if you can stir the potion in your cauldron. Stir around in one direction and then swap and stir around in the other direction and then stir around again and in the other direction, and let's taste our potion. Get a spoon, dip it in, have a sniff. Ugh, horrid. Or maybe your potion was delicious. Now from potion cauldron pot, take your hands to the outside of your knees and bring your knees together. From here, bring your feet really close to your bottom and come into a squat position, like this. Now challenge yourself. Can you come up high on your bottom? Even higher, even higher, even higher, and stay there. Grab your hands in front of you like this for broomstick pose, because the next thing that Harry learns to do is how to ride a broom. See if you can hold broomstick pose for 3, 2, maybe sink a little lower, 1, and stand up. Shake your legs off. Do you notice how in broomstick pose, your legs start to really work really hard and your belly starts to work? This is because our muscles are really needing to do their job here in our legs because we're sinking so far down. Let's do broomstick pose one more time. But this time, see if you can bring your feet to touch like this. See if this makes it harder or easier for you. Sink your bottom low, grab onto your broomstick, squeeze your belly and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come sit down on your bottom. Now there are so many things that Harry does in his first year that I couldn't possibly name them all. So instead, I'm going to run through some of the big adventures that he did. Come onto all 4s and tuck your toes under and send your bum into the sky for dog pose. Because one of the things that Harry did on his first year at Hogwarts was come across Fluffy, the 3-headed dog. Press your hands into the ground, press your feet into the ground and lift your hips really high. Now if you want to challenge yourself, you can wag your doggy tail by lifting up one of your feet and shaking your foot. If you've got one leg lifted, bring it back down and swap to the second side. Bring your other foot up and wag your doggy tail. Another beastie that Harry met on his adventures in his first year at Hogwarts was a troll. Jump your feet between your hands and come to stand all the way up. Take your feet very wide and point your toes out to opposite sides of the room. Bend into your knees, take your hands to your hips and then reach your arms up to the sky for troll pose. Some of you might know this as Hulk pose because we've done this in another class. See if you can sink your bottom a bit lower. Really make fists with your arms. And when I say so, we're going to make a big growling noise like a troll and straighten our legs. 3, 2, 1. Grrr. Let's try that again. Maybe go a bit lower this time. 3, 2, 1. Grrr. Very good. Another adventure that Harry went on was to the Forbidden Forest. In fact, he went there many times. For Forbidden Forest pose, we're going to do a tree pose that you all know how to do. Take your hands to your hips and let's start by putting our weight into our left foot. Bring your right foot onto your left foot for mini tree pose. Or bring your right foot onto the inside of your calf for slightly bigger tree pose. Start to ground yourself if you're feeling wobbly. Remember to stare at something that's not moving so that you can keep your balance. So don't look at the camera. And then see if you can go a little harder. Pick your right foot up and take it to the inside of your thigh, the top part of your leg, for Forbidden Forest pose number 3, the trickiest version. If you are here, see if you can challenge yourself even more by doing something with your arms, maybe allowing your arms to sway in the wind. Maybe you can turn them into a really gnarly tree branch. 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's do that on the second side. Place your weight into your right foot. Take your left foot onto your right foot. You can stay here or move it up a bit. Or move it up a little bit more. Now, wherever you are, find your balance and look at something that is not moving. And if you want to, you can do something with your arms. You can take them above your head or you can make a gnarly shape with your arms. 3, 2, 1, and release. In the Forbidden Forest, Harry sees a unicorn. Bring your left foot in front of you and bring your right knee down to the ground. And face your hips forward. Reach your arms up and make a point with your hands. And maybe start to bend backwards for unicorn pose. And you'll get a big stretch in the leg with the knee on the ground. Swap to the second side for unicorn pose on the second side. Press your right foot into the ground. Reach your arms up to the sky. Press your hands together. And what noise do you think a unicorn makes? Do you think it makes a neigh or do you think it makes another noise? Whatever noise you think a unicorn makes, make that now. Keep bending into your front knee and reaching back with your hands. Now bring your hands down to the ground, but keep your legs where they were. For the final beastie that Harry met, that we are going to do, is a dragon pose. He met Norbert the dragon in Hagrid's house. Now for dragon pose, bring both of your hands to the inside of your right foot, like this. And you can stay here, or you can reach your left foot back away from you and pick up your left knee. See if you can come really low to the ground as if you are a dragon, and imagine your right knee is a wing and your left leg is your long tail. Maybe breathe out through your mouth as if you're breathing fire. Bring your knees to the ground and swap them over. So this time your left foot comes in front. Place your hands on the inside of your left knee. Stretch back with your right leg. Pick your right knee off the floor and see if you can bend your elbows. Your right foot is your tail. Your left knee is one of your wings. Take a big breath in through your nose and fire breath out. Now from here, bring your knees to the floor. Bring your feet in front of you and come to lie all the way down on the floor. Bring your hands onto your belly and then stretch your feet out to the side. Now when Harry started off at the beginning of the Philosopher's Stone, he had to live in a tiny little room underneath the stairs, and he had a teeny tiny bed for a mattress. Teeny tiny mattress for a bed even. But now that he's in Hogwarts, he is in a big 4-poster bed. A giant bed with 4 big posts of wood on the side. Stretch your arms up and your legs up to the sky to imagine that you are the 4-poster bed. Take a little moment to notice how heavy your body feels when you do this pose. And then bring your feet back to the floor and stretch your arms and your legs out wide as if you are in your 4-poster bed. And we're going to take Shavasana now, our special quiet pose at the end of class. So if you want to have a really long Shavasana, you can just pause the video now. Otherwise, close your eyes. Allow your feet to be floppy. Allow your hands to be floppy. Let your belly rise up and down every time you breathe in and breathe out. Maybe, if your mind is busy, you can think about all the other magical adventures that Harry had in that first book. There's so many that we couldn't squeeze into the class. Maybe you can think about what your favourite pose was. Or maybe, if you want to just relax, you can listen to the sound of your breath. Start to twinkle into your fingers and your toes. Take a big stretch. And then hug your knees in close. Slowly roll over to one side and push yourself up into a seat. Try and keep your eyes closed if you can. Bring your hands together at heart center. And take a little moment just to thank yourself for making the effort to do the video. Maybe to think of anything else that you want to, any other kind thoughts. You can think those now. We'll finish as we always do with 2 big breaths. Maybe you could imagine you're breathing out fire like a dragon. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And again. Time for a secret yoga word. 3, 2, 1. Namaste. Well done, everybody. That was fantastic. Now there should be a whole heap of other videos coming up onto the website soon. So if you missed any of the old ones, they'll be up soon and you'll be able to access them in the near future. It's been so much fun teaching you all yoga. Hopefully see you all soon. Bye.